We're just going to continue on with our journey with Israel, Moses, Pharaoh, Egypt, and how these things apply to us. God has already given the message to Moses to go to Pharaoh, take Aaron with him, and let's turn that water into blood. So this is what the Lord says. I will show you that I am the Lord. Look, I will strike the water of the Nile with the staff in my hand, and the water will turn to blood. The fish in it will die, the river will stink, the Egyptians will not be able to drink any water from the Nile. Then the Lord said to Moses, tell Aaron, take your staff, raise your hand over the waters of Egypt, all its rivers, canals, ponds, and all the reservoirs. Turn all the water to blood. Everywhere in Egypt, the water will turn to blood, even the water stored in wooden bowls and stone pots. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. So it wasn't just the Nile that turned to blood. It was every bit of water, every drop out there turned to blood. So like today, it would be like all of our water bottles in our fridge, every pitcher that we have, every water tank stored up in the entire land. God's amazing. Listen now. So Moses and Aaron did just as the Lord commanded them, as Pharaoh and all his officials watched. Aaron raised his staff, struck the water of the Nile. Suddenly the whole river turned to blood. The fish in the river died. The water became so foul the Egyptians couldn't drink it. There was blood everywhere throughout the land of Egypt. But again, the magicians of Egypt used their magic, and they too turned the water into blood. So Pharaoh's heart remained hard, and he refused to listen to Moses and Aaron, just as the Lord had predicted. Pharaoh returned to his palace and put the whole thing out of his mind. Man, let that sink into you. Then all the Egyptians dug along the riverbank to find drinking water, for they couldn't drink the water from the Nile. 7 days passed from the time the Lord struck the Nile. Man, I'm telling you, as I listen to this and I look at the situation that's going on, and I think of how many of us, God has revealed something to us. Maybe he's talked to us about something. He's trying to get us to act in obedience in something in an area of our life. And so he hits right on it. We find some other way of getting around it, just like Pharaoh did. He just like, oh, they can do that too. That's no big deal. And then go home and just put it out of our mind. Just ignore it. Act like it never happened. Just dismiss it. And I want you to think about this. Now, the whole land is stinking. There's no water. They're having to redig along the shores to try and find something to be able to drink. And he just puts it out of his mind. In 7 days, they lived like this. Didn't have to. Now, friends, whatever God is dealing with you about, I want to encourage you not to dismiss it. Not to walk around it, not to make excuses for it, not to just say, oh, that was just a coincidence and this can happen too, and just ignore it. Don't go home and just put this out of your mind. What God has talked to you about is critically important for you in this period of your life to step into it in obedience and do whatever it is that God's asking you to do. Why do you want to go through a series of things where God is trying to get you to do what he's asking you to do, when you can just do it in the first moment? Don't put it out of your head. Don't make excuses. Don't live in that state of ignorance for 7 days or more. Today we need to take action on what we already know God's saying to us. And let's not make him bring it like he did to Pharaoh and the Egyptians through 10 plagues over a long series of time. Let's be his reactive, moving church that is obedient in the first call. Let's have an amazing day with him.